my hard top, were you riding with me? If you have the windows down and you're driving like on the freeway, every now and then it will just like the wind will catch it and it will make this bang like a gunshot is going off inside of the vehicle. What have you been up to this fine February 2027?
I've been calling all the Bronco clubs and just getting to know the presidents of the clubs, and we'd love to hear from all of the clubs. It's such a huge community. But while I was talking to the Georgia Broncos club, Brian LaFleur was telling me that they have this build that they're doing, and they call it the Paw Brown build. And he was just telling me, hey, here's what we're doing. Do you have any extra parts laying around? And they're doing this for this family, which is really cool. So I started talking to him about it, and I said, hey, do you mind if I call this guy's daughter and ask her about the Bronco? I said, I want to know what the story is behind this truck. So I was able to get in touch with Kimberly, who was the daughter of this guy they called Paw Brown. And so his name was Phil. He bought this truck back in, I think it was 1986, she said.
Wow.
And it was the only car he drove. It was his daily driver until he was in his late 70s and passed away. And he left the truck with them. And that's everybody in the family. That's how they knew the truck. But, as it aged and he had to fix things himself and, get bumps and dents and scrapes, and they'd take it camping, he would do some patchwork and then grab whatever primer can he had around. So it originally was this electric blue or royal blue, and then it ended up being white primer and gray primer and red primer, and it was this looked like a dingo, the dog, that are all different colors.
Patchwork.
And everybody knew that this multicolored patch painted truck was Paw Brown driving from here to there.
Wow.
And so she said he tried to teach her to drive in it when she was 15, and it was a 3 on the tree. She goes, it was really tricky. And she remembers him picking her up at high school, but he had put glass packs on it. So if you've never heard that, so he'd pull up to pick her up. As soon as she'd get in the truck, he'd rev it up for all the boys to hear, and she'd slink down to the floorboard and just disappear.
That's amazing.
So this truck, so he drove it almost 30 years, and then they decided, we have to restore this truck. And as they're looking at how much it costs to restore a truck, they're like, wow, they had no idea what had happened with the Bronco and that they were worth so much money. And so she was calling around and got in touch with, somehow she and Brian got together, and the club decided to take this on as a project build. And I just think that's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
And so they're picking out colors, trying to get parts, and you can see this on their website. I think they're going to, on their Facebook page, Georgia Broncos, are going to do the build, post about the build, and we can keep track of it that way. But
nice.
So it's a 69 Bronco. And as he got older and he became not a very good driver and didn't pass his driver's test, they had to disable the truck. So she pulled a couple spark plugs out and just, you do it to your teenager.
Yeah.
Well, it's broke. I'll have to fix it later, and that was the only way to keep him from just jumping in the thing and driving it around.
Wow.
So it sat there for years after that, since 2013. And so it's going to be cool to watch that build.
Yeah.
I'm going to give them some floor pan replacement pieces and
Nice.
whatever they need. And it's going to be really cool to follow. But
Yeah. Well, definitely, if you are in the Georgia area, you should be a part of the Georgia Bronco Club. And behind us on the wall, Brian LaFleur has been kind enough to give us his, or make us our own, kind of Broncos through the generations. And this is Georgia Broncos made these posters, and we used them at Ford Fest in October, and reached out to Brian, and we were like, man, could we have a copy of these? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. And so his donation to the podcast. And so we're definitely giving him some love, because just such a cool project that they're working on with Papa Brown's Bronco, and we appreciate all that they're doing. Like you said, we love our Bronco clubs, and so wherever you're at throughout the country, you need to find the Bronco club that is near you that you can show up to. A couple weeks ago, we had our Bronco club here at at Donnie's shop, the Tennessee Bronco Club. And it was just a good time. I mean, we had like 16 Broncos that showed up. We had a couple new Broncos, a couple second-gen Broncos, and then guys who were like, I'm still working on my Bronco. It's not ready yet. I still have this and that to do. They just showed up and hung out. And Matt Mooney is our kind of club boss and Tennessee Bronco club boss. And he got us bunch of, grilled out and had a bunch of food and hung out. It was a lot of fun. So our next meetup is March 11th. So definitely if you're in the Tennessee area, you need to show up for some Bronco hanging. I don't think we're going to meet up here. I think we might meet up somewhere else, but
well,
yeah.
I think we might start a little drive, maybe start here and
yeah.
then go to Leaper's Fork or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's like,
that'd be cool.
What is it? 20 miles?
Yeah.
Probably not even.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Well, speaking of even club events, there's a lot of events that are starting up. March is kind of the beginnings of Bronco event season. So we had our episode all on just the events throughout the year. So definitely, if you haven't listened to that one, give that a listen to, because we go through almost all of the events. I've gotten a couple emails that are like, hey, you forgot my event,
Yeah.
like, how could you do that? And I'm like, oh, sorry. And there's some new events that are coming up that we didn't put on there just because it's like, well, what if it gets canceled? Like this isn't, we haven't even seen or heard these events. So, but the ones that are coming up in March that we are excited about: United by Bronco, March 2nd through the 4th. That's in Sand Hollow, Utah. This is, such a fun event. I went out there last year. I'm not going to be able to make it this year, but it is an awesome event. If you're a new Bronco owner, this is a great Bronco event to really test the limits of your Bronco. Tons of trails in Sand Hollow, and Bailey Built and Hellabad Broncos puts this one on. It's awesome. March 15th through the 19th, the Arizona Classic Bronco Stampede. March 31st through April 1st, the second annual Mid-South Bronco Stampede. And then coming up in April 19th through the 22nd, the Bronco Super Celebration.
I'm so pumped about that.
Oh, I'm getting so excited. Yeah. I've started building a list of things that I'm going to add to my Bronco. So it's like started building, just like, I think I'll do this, and I think I'm going to do this. So
we'll need to find 2 cylinders first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My engine is down 2 cylinders on my green 1975. So I'm trying to figure out like, I need to just open it up, take a look at it. So be on the lookout for that video. I'm sure it'll be coming soon.
The good news is they're on the same side.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll cost you half as much.
Ooh, hey, there you go.
You never know.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just pull the head and take a look at it and see what's going on under there. And if you noticed, behind us, if you're watching this on YouTube, you don't see our my beautiful Bronco body behind us, and that's
your beautiful Bronco body.
And that's because my beautiful Bronco body is being it's on its side in the shop, and at some point soon we're going to Raptor line the bottom of it and drop it on the chassis and haul it down to Super Celebration. So I'll be bringing that one as well. So hopefully bringing 2 Broncos down with me, 2 less cylinders, but yeah. And
we can get it. I think we can get it fixed before then.
Yeah. I think so. But yeah. It's going to be fun. Bronco Super Celebration is a blast. So much fun to go to, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. I mean, you got 500-600 early Broncos that show up, a couple hundred new Broncos that come out, and the field just keeps getting bigger and bigger to hold all these Broncos. And mention our sponsor for the episode, Tom's Off Road. So what they do is if you order parts now, there's a cutoff at some point. I don't know when it is, but if you order parts now and you select on there, instead of shipping, you pick send to Super Celebration, then they take a semi full of parts down to Super Celebration, and it's basically free shipping for you. They just bring a whole truck down there, and you get free shipping on your parts. So definitely take advantage of that, because that can save you a ton of money on parts.
Yeah, if you want big parts, you want a roll cage,
Yeah.
you want doors,
Yeah.
whatever. Just the big parts. That's the way to get them.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely be on the lookout for that, and look for us at Bronco Super Celebration. We'll be there too.
So, John, I think we should talk about Bronco metal roofs.
Oh, all right.
Through this winter, there were so many calls about, do you have any roofs?
Yeah.
And you show them the couple roofs you have with all the dents in them and the rust, and they're like, you have anything else?
You got anything nicer?
Yeah. It's like Christmas trees. It's like, that one's really bad, but it's like, well, you can get a new roof. You can get a fiberglass roof. There's so many roof options. So I thought we'd maybe talk about roofs just a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Talk about roofs, hard tops and soft tops, and then even the new Bronco roofs, and talk about those a little bit. I like it.
Well, I think for early Broncos, it's amazing how many of them through auction go and sell with no roof.
Yep.
Like, well, what'd you do with the roof? And most roofs have dents in them. And, if you're short like me, you can't see them anyway. But, you can fix, the dented roofs, put your Converse on, flip it upside down. If you're buying a roof for $500, you can literally get some 3M pads you put on your drill and just grind as much of the surface rust off as you can.
Yeah.
If you don't have the ability to weld the holes up, if you just need a roof, you can actually get a roof to look pretty good for about $300, $400.
Yeah.
Do it yourself, rattle can it, or, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. But so I guess there's sort of 3 different levels or things you could do with the roof. If you're building a $100,000 Bronco, maybe you want a new steel roof, and those kits are around $2,600, $2,300.
Oh, wow.
It's essentially 4 pieces, 2 sides and the main roof, and then the lift gate. And there is welding required on that. It should be spot welded, but you'll get a really nice brand new roof.
Yeah.
So that's one option. So you figure, hey, I got $2,600 in a new metal roof. I'm going to have to prep it and paint it. Let's just call it $1,000 to have someone do that. You have to have it welded together. So next thing you know, you're between $4,000 and $5,000 by the time you get glass and everything else in it. So let's just call it $5,000.
Yeah.
And, if you're building a really nice truck, maybe that's the way to go. But then when you compare that to, there are some good metal roofs out there, and you will have to pay $2,000, $2,500 for them, but they may not even need painted, and they have all the hardware, the glass, everything's in it. So for me, I like a deal on a used roof, or, just get your grinder out and make an old roof look good, and at least you're enclosed, right?
Yeah. Yeah. With my Bronco that I'm building, I pulled the roof. I took the roof with it, and I ended up selling it for $500. And it was in pretty bad shape. It had rust holes. It had, it was not in great condition, but someone out there can fix it, and so that was their hope, because for, like you said, for just the metal, you're looking at $2,000. And so to be able to, actually get something that has everything together that you have to fix, you got to put some elbow grease into, that I feel like is definitely the way to go. Tom's Bronco Parts has, Tom's Off-Road, they have a complete roof for $3,000 with free shipping right now. I'd pulled up their site, and I was like, what? Now, it doesn't come with any hardware. It doesn't come with like any of the, gaskets or glass or anything like that. It's just, but it's pre-built.
Assembled.
It's
nice.
assembled.
Yeah.
And that is a killer deal. Now, it's not painted, but you can paint it. That is a killer deal. And actually, what I would do with a roof, if I were getting one like that, I would just have it powder coated. And, it's like the perfect size. Just throw it in the powder coater, or give it to the powder coater, because that's an easier, like, it doesn't have a ton of nooks and crannies where the powder coater really has to get in there. So that's an easy project for a powder coater to do, and might save you some money rather than getting it painted. But yeah, I found that and I was like, oh my gosh. And then they have, for glass, weather stripping, everything you need disassembled, it's $3,800. So it's like, yeah, like you said, your estimate of $5,000 I think is right on to get a new roof for if you're restoring a truck. Like, that would definitely be the way to go. But yeah, I think there's a lot of options if you're looking for a new hardtop. And then soft tops. I think soft tops, like, you can go with the cheapo options all the way up to the really nice options on an early Bronco, and everything in between. I have one of the ones that when I had my roll cage, it went across it attached to the window frame, and it went all the way across my hardtop. So it was just kind of the top piece. It didn't have any sides, nothing like that. And so I really like that because it was great when I wanted to drive without my top on, but I didn't want to be just baking in the sun all day. So there's a lot of options when you're looking at different soft tops.
So on the soft tops too, they range from $650 all the way up to $2,500, and they'll keep you somewhat dry. Even a metal roof will keep you somewhat dry. Yeah. You'd have to get all the seals just right. It's not easy. How many wrenches would you give installing a soft top?
Installing a soft top? I mean, one wrench, maybe two. I think that's a pretty easy job. Even pulling the hardtop on and off, I would say that's a one wrench job. Like, on the hardtop, I think there's probably 12, 16 bolts total, and you just need two 9/16 sockets and or maybe it's 1/2 inch, and take the whole thing off. What would you say?
Yeah, I think that they got those hoist systems and things, or you could rig it up like you did. Either way, if you back your truck in and you lift the top up, you pull out, you can turn around, and isn't that what you do? And then pull in forward.
Yep, park underneath it
until you need the roof again. So I actually like the soft tops. Some people call them bimini tops or bikini tops, but they only cover the roof, no sides. Yeah. And you can go from there. You can get ones with sides, like the one Mark has. Yeah. That top looks really nice, and it was under $1,000 with sides and back window.
Yeah. And there's even the cool thing now is the Safari top, where it's like kind of looks like a Land Rover Defender kind of style top, like you're going on safari. But those are a little more expensive.
Yeah, it's like the brown canvas. And what's interesting is in the very back where the roll cage would be, if you have a family cage, it goes straight down, so it does give it that Defender look.
Yes. Yeah.
But they do look cool. I like those. Yeah. Those are I think a little over $2,000.
Yeah. Now, talking about new Broncos, same thing with the new Bronco. Taking the hardtop off the new Bronco is super easy. You got the two panels up front, and depending on if you have a 2-door or 4-door, you either have the middle piece or you just have that big back piece. And even that back piece can easily, me and my wife could easily pick that up and remove it ourselves. You know, it's an easy one wrench job for sure. And I actually have a video, did a video for Bronco Nation on how to remove the hard top and how to remove the soft top. And they're both, you know, really easy to do.
Well, they have tools too. You have to get the little toolkit out and get to those like Allen heads back in there. But now there are other products you can get. They're like quick bolts and finger bolts and toolless bolts that you don't need to get the toolkit and the wrenches out. You can literally just do it. I think Kim and I, we timed it. It was like 10 minutes start to finish getting the doors and everything off.
Yeah.
So, and we were both able to lift it. So, until we lifted the truck 5.5 inches, then it got a little harder. The wheels are in the way because the 37-inch wheels stick out, but still, it was it's not like a metal roof at all.
Yeah. Now you have the hard top on your Bronco, your new one. If you had it over to do it again, would you do soft top or hard top?
You know, I really like that combination. There's the Sunrider by Bestop that it's just kind of like a folding, sliding back roof over the driver area. So you take the two sort of T-tops off that make up the front. There's no bar in the middle of them, and then you replace it with that and you just flop it back.
Oh yeah.
It takes you can do it while you're at a stoplight. Yeah. So that's actually the combination of the two, I think, is really awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. Leave it in the comments below, all those new Bronco owners. What do you like, the hard top or the soft top on your Bronco or your first-gen Bronco? You know, I really like the hard top on my first-gen Bronco. I don't know that I would want to do a soft top, but I'm really quick at removing my hard top and, like you said, parking under it. And so I'm like, I don't need a soft top. Like, there's no use. But my hard top, were you riding with me? If you have the windows down and you're driving like on the freeway, every now and then it will just, like, the wind will catch it and it will make this bang, like a gunshot is going off inside of the vehicle, and it's like,
it's one of those big dents on the roof that's like can't decide which way it wants to be.
So every once in a while, like good enough gust of wind will come through and just bah, and you're just like, oh, okay, gotta change my pants.
Once you get a dent in a roof, even if it's a perfect circle, you're always going to have like a smile somewhere. You're going to have a half a circle line that's not going to come out. So, you know, you can't work it out. I mean, there isn't an English wheel big enough to put that thing on. So the reality is you just live with it. Yeah. If you were to powder coat it, that's a great idea because it's super durable, and powder coating isn't that super glossy stuff. So a lot of that goes away.
Yeah.